Began its hearings this week to investigate how prepared the U.S. was against possible terrorist attack prior to September 11th. You've heard what I think came out of it. Anybody else have any other things they want to say?
Well, we try to blame Bush. He was in the office for 10 months. Clinton was there for 8 years.
But even Clinton.
But he had bigger things in his mind. Monica Lewinsky's ass.
But don't you think blaming either one of them is crazy? It was Bin Laden.
I do. Yeah, no, because it's really the airline's fault, because they like Israel Airline, whatever that's called. Yeah, they have cheap flights, and I think that they had security, so we didn't have security because we don't want security. So really, it's our fault. You know what I mean? Because we don't want to be inconvenienced.
You know, I'm a Bin Laden, and I thought the airlines did a great job ferrying us out of America after 9/11. They gave me a kosher meal. I was very satisfied.
So you're one of the Bin Laden family?
I'm one of the Bin Ladens, yes.
Here's the thing. You can't win, because had they gone after Bin Laden and killed him, and then the attacks occurred anyway, people would be screaming, look, you killed him, you brought the wrath of Al-Qaeda on this country. And then if the attacks never came, they still would have been saying that the attacks were racially motivated or anti-Muslim or, you know, anti-diabetic. There's no way to actually do that and win, because people want to bellyache no matter what. So there's no way to prevent it.
So you think that... Go ahead.
I was saying intelligence failures are epidemic in this country. We didn't see the Japanese coming. We didn't see... The British didn't see the Falkland Islands getting attacked. Sharon Stone thought the practice was a good career move. These things
Mistakes,
happen.
exactly.
But
you're
Bush,
right.
I disagree with you. Bush should have seen it coming, because Bush was... his father is in bed with the Bin Laden family. Not necessarily in bed, maybe bent over a dumpster in a back alley with him. But he has been paid very handsomely by the Carlyle Group, and when I say handsomely, I mean his checks have an ascot and a smoking jacket. They should have seen it coming.
I agree with him, whatever he said.
Oh, come on. Nobody can see anything coming.
Why are we blaming ourselves? I think you get a good point. You know, we're like the girl who's being molested by her uncle for 10 years. It's not our fault.
You can't see it coming.
It's the uncle's fault.
Whoa,
Guys like him would say, you know what, your uncle had a right to molest you. He had a short skirt on. That's what you'd be saying.
I did it once. They did it on March 11th, like the 11th, and you can't stop these terrorists. You just don't travel.
Look, well, that doesn't affect your career.
I know. That's why I stay in town.
Not to get off the subject, but you know, you'd be surprised a lot of times your niece does wear a little skirt, and you don't intend for things to happen, but it's not always the uncle's fault.
What? So no, that is a good point. Don't you feel sometimes like when everyone said root causes, the first thing I thought was, oh, it's like saying to the rape victim exactly that. It's like saying, oh, you were asking for it with your lax immigration policies. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of like blaming, blaming the person that got attacked.
That was sort of the point I was trying to make.
That's what upsets me, is that they were foreigners.
Mine too.
Yeah.
These are the kind of things that are important in our little world. Now listen, the Supreme Court is considering the case of Larry Hibble, a Nevada cattle rancher who was arrested for refusing to reveal his name or show an ID when police stopped him. Now, aside from the name is Hibble, nobody wants to say their name when it's Larry Hibble, but...
It sounds like a blue-collar...
What do you think? Should you have to say your name when the cops go, what's your name?
First of all, I just think the guy had a fight with his girlfriend, so he's already pissed. The cop had a hard on. The guy probably didn't want it. He came up, said, what's your name? First of all, the cop can he just run his plates? The cop was just being a douche, whatever I can say on air, you know what I mean? And it's like when a cop...
But is he being a douche? The guy being a douche for saying, I'm not telling you my name,
No,
too?
it's like when a cop comes up and says, you know why I stopped you? It's like, oh, you smell the pot in the glove compartment? You know what I mean? You're not supposed to... It's like, let them do their job.
Right.
Run the plates.
But what if you're walking?
You should be able to, you should have to tell them your name. Especially in this day of terrorism. I mean... You know, we should make it tough on the cops to figure out who's who. But then again, if you see like an Arab guy hanging out at Grand Central at 2 in the morning, we already know his name. It's Muhammad.
But is that how we that snide as a group? Like, that's our idea of assertiveness and individuality? Like, the cop stopped me and I didn't tell him my name, man. Like, is that our idea of being like individuals and it's ridiculous? Who cares? Tell the cop your name.
Your name is Newton.
Oh, sorry. No, I said, what could you possibly do illegally?
You never got in a fight with your girlfriend and you just didn't want to talk to people.
When I used to get
I don't have to ask
tell
her
the cops
name.
my name was John Doe, they would arrest me. But even when you said John Doe, then they still arrested you and put your name down as John Doe.
That was a good point to make.
Well, it's true. And one time I got arrested, I swear to God. This is true. I go to, I'm in the bullpens downtown, and then after 2 days, I forgot I was drunk when they arrested me, so I forget I'm named John Doe. So then they're calling your case up, you know. So I'm sitting in the cell, me and all the brothers sitting there. They go, John Doe, John Doe. So finally, I'm like, oh yeah. So I start walking through all the black dudes trying not to touch it. There's one big brother goes, John Doe, yo man, where you from? Main Street, Anytown, USA?
What the hell was Chris Rock doing in jail?
I think, you know, I was raised in a very liberal household. My mother used to, instead of reading to me Cat in the Hat, she read my Miranda rights and then gave me a cavity search, and I missed those. But the people committing the crimes, the people committing the crimes, I watch cops.
Yeah.
Their faces, they have no facial features. Those are the people we should round up.
Those are dragging victims.
The people without faces.
But do you think, let's just go around, who thinks that you should be forced to say a name, who thinks you shouldn't?
You should.
You should.
No.
You should be able to. Have to.
You should say your name.
Fine.
I got a question. When's the audience going to get here?
You're enjoying the show on a different level.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be like,
They're on a different
no,
channel.
they are. They're not like,
They're watching
a bunch of hysterical people. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I could be wrong, he could be right. Either the audience hates the show, which I don't think is true, or they just kind of are laid back like, yeah, we're enjoying this on a...
As usual, Colin is right.
That's what you wanted a comedy show, paraplegics.
We'll be right back into this next. Now, speaking of censorship, hip-hop activists worldwide, and that includes Iceland, that are outraged that MTV asked rapper Kanye West to edit his new video, All Falls Down. Here are the lyrics in question. He says, because they make us hate ourselves and love their wealth. That's why shorty's hollering where the ball is at. Drug dealers buy Jordans, crackhead buy crack, and a white man gets paid off all of that. And I saw it last night on Def Jam, providentially, Def Poetry. Now, they dropped the word white in white man. Now, what do you guys think about it? Should they have dropped the word?
Well, obviously, even if they drop the word white, we know who they're blaming. They're not blaming the West Indians.
Right.
White, they hate us. They hate our guts.
I just like that 5 white guys are talking about this.
Why? We're not allowed to talk about
We're still in charge. We're still in charge. That's my point.
Oh, I want
Charge of what?
I think, wait.
MTV?
We're in charge. You think this opinion on this show is like the prevalent opinion in the media and show business? No, it's not. No one's even going to bring it up in show business because the people that are in charge, I'm not saying they're not white, but their opinion's like, oh yeah, sweep it under the rug. Don't even talk about this. It's uncomfortable.
It's very simple. If you want to be politically correct, instead of white man, he could have just said superior American.
Holy Jesus, that's racist.
I'm going to say something which hopefully can be amusing, or at least
Hey, Skip. Let him have it, Skip.
Now, I forgot my whole Kanye West.
It'll be good.
Oh, here it is. I know it'll be good. Kanye West, that's not halfway. We're not going to cut most of this shit, I hope.
No.
They go halfway. Oh, really? You want to leave this nonsense in?
Halfway to hell.
Here's what happens.
Look at his hair.
What happens? Kanye...
Nothing, go ahead.
All right, here's my point on the whole bloody... I will go. Quit saying go ahead.
I want to hear it.
Let me go.
I have my laughing hat on.
Kanye West.
Let him have it, Skip.
The bottom line is this. If you read the lyrics of those songs, you will see that he's saying that, yes, drug dealers buy Jordans because the white man gets paid. So even drug dealers are being victimized by the white corporations because they buy their Jordans from them. And then he says, they make us hate ourselves, so they buy a lot of products. Like the rest of the world is not filled with white everybody who buys products because we hate ourselves because advertising makes us all hate ourselves.
That's what...
I can't take it anymore.
That's why they're drinking a... That's why they're drinking a gallon of Mountain Dew, because they hate themselves?
And they're still ripped. That's what pisses me off.
I don't even think white man's an insult. Why is that an insult? You know, if someone says
you.
No.
I noticed. Well, that haircut hasn't done much for us.
That's a fine compliment. You're a white man. Thank you, and a good day to you too, sir.
You call a black guy, sir? I know Patrice was throwing around the word cracker yesterday, our black friend. They didn't have a problem with that. We all know cracker is the equivalent of right?
Whoa, what? Are we still on air?
Hey, I'm offended. Excuse me.
I get bleeped anyway.
It's true.
I have some black blood.
He's a member of the
on the grill of my car, but still,
family. I think it's black blood.
What'd you do? You got black blood. What'd you do, burn a bagel?
No, I don't let my children listen to hip-hop music because in my day, we had lyricists. people who told a story. James Taylor, Tommy Dorsey, who knew how to write songs with lyrics like "I want to bust my nut all over my biatch's face." Things that told a story. Not today with the kids.
Story.
No, I don't know what they're singing.
You're right. When it's an acoustic guitar, it sounds different.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Ads for erectile dysfunction and sexual performance products are turning up everywhere. Okay? There's these ads all over the place. What do you guys think? Anyone want to sample? First of all, I got some lovely Viagra. Big boys.
I am.
No, it's M&M's.
I'm offended by it.
I don't think...
First of all, can I say one thing before we start?
Yes, dear.
This idiot just said, is that real? But go ahead.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I have a giant bottle of Viagra, you.
Well, you have integrity. You never fake things. That's why I thought it would be real, because you...
Oh, quit trying to, again, play false humility so I look like a prick.
You do look like a prick.
Go ahead, what were you going to say, fella?
The women in the...
I'm listening.
Yeah, I could tell.
First of all, the commercial...
Hey, dickhead, I was speaking. Who's the guest here?
I knew that wasn't going to get through.
Viagra?
I knew that wasn't going to get
Dickhead
past.
Viagra?
Hey, whoa. Go ahead.
You did come
The
more. Go
point
ahead,
I was
fella.
making was...
Somebody lean back.
Shut
I
up.
thought that man
Nick,
could jump in.
Talk.
What, you gonna talk or not? I'm gonna jump in again.
What's the hurry?
Because it's a half hour.
No.
It's true. You don't understand. Brennan has a bad temper, too. Not as bad as Nick, but he's pretty close.
Bad temper and a bad
Brennan's had more
barber.
little fights in that stupid hallway than like a drunken Russian customer from Brighton Beach.
What'd you say?
Go ahead, Nick.
The research that you gave us, the articles about a woman complaining because the ads were too explicit with this Viagra and all this other stuff, which I disagree. Have you seen the ad for Levitra? They don't even tell you what it is. It's like a guy throwing a football through a tire swing, and he misses, then he takes a couple pills, and the next three go right through it. I don't even... What is that pill for? Is that for guys with inaccurate ejaculations? I don't... Guys trying to get his wife pregnant, he's knocking over lamps and she's running around, I'm open, hit me. Boy, that was worth waiting for.
It was.
Go ahead, Slap.
I want to make a point.
I'm saying she's everybody else. So you
Oh,
can
no,
say.
it's not that great a point. It was just, I take Viagra, and it's not a matter of people like, well, do you need that? It's like, no. Sometimes you just want to punish somebody.
That's true.
I don't think you need Viagra during sex to punish whoever you have sex with. We'll be right back.
Very nice.